Buckle up, buckaroos, and grab a thick piece of jerky because the days of you wasting precious percentage points on your favorite guns are gone. Today, we're going to cover why your college girlfriend left you. Let's talk distance. Now, before we begin, I do have a couple things that I want to mention. Whether you're a freshly minted buckaroo or an old dirty buckaroo that's been in circulation for a while, I feel like having this information could save your life, your ammo, your gun durability, and if you're like me, your sanity. The first thing I needed to understand when I began this journey is how big is the space as a whole. After speaking with some of the developers, who are very kind and awesome and didn't make me feel annoying, even though I know I am, who told me that the Arizona Pine Forest map is about 4 square miles, which means it's 2 miles vertically and 2 miles horizontally. Believe it or not, with some elbow grease, that's all we need. If we thicken up the border lines that already exist on the map, and we already know the total size of the map, we can roughly calculate the distances between the grids, and in turn, the distances between the points of interest, extraction spots, and most importantly, how far away is that asshole who's obviously been shooting you with the ×8 and you should really run but your pride won't let you, so you shoot 13 bullets at him, none of which actually make it there? But you can't see because there's a giant pile of smoke in your face from your gun, and then you baby rage and question your life decisions that brought you to this point. As I said, elbow grease tells us that each grid is roughly a quarter mile for us Americans, and for the rest of the world, we'll call it 402 meters. Now, if we're talking diagonally, that changes it. From corner to corner, we're going to call that 569 meters. Now the wheels are turning, right? But Dobby, how does that help me know how far away someone is who's staring at me? For this part of the video, I used Crank Lopez. I've been killing him in video games since we were 15, and at this point, it's gotta feel like breathing for him. I tested 4 types of ammo, simply to give you the gut feel of if you're in range to shoot your gun at somebody. Our first distance is about 30 meters, and it's the shotgun. This is the range you can expect to do any sort of damage to an enemy, although it is buckshot, so if you aren't using slugs, I recommend getting closer, like 10 meters close for optimal spread. Second is around 100 meters with the 38. It actually surprised me how far you can hit with this. Burn this into your memory. This is how far you can be and still do damage. Third is some 44 caliber ammo. You get a little more range, it starts to fall off at about 150 meters. Lastly is the 3099 ammo with a bolt action. I wanted to test something further, so this is what you can expect at about 250 meter fall off. Feels not as long as I thought it would. I should be using a scope. Okay, now that we have that out of the way, let's test some distances with a new friend of mine. Let me introduce you to Alexander Perry. He doesn't have Parkinson's, he's not lame, he doesn't have hypothyroidism, which makes him an ideal candidate for me to test some rudimentary examples. A precursor for those of you still with me, this guy is freshly spawned, which means he has no equipment on outside of what I came with, no injuries, no buffs, no debuffs to stamina, speed, or regeneration. He's just Alex Perry. Now Alex is going to go from the Blue Ridge River mouth to the fork in the road near the Northern Ravine. With the math we used earlier, we can determine that it's going to be roughly 1,909 meters. I'll speed up the running, but let's see how long it takes him to get there with stamina breaks included. Now while he runs, a very obvious caveat here is that you can expect this to probably double in time and also in stamina stops with full bags, and become even worse if you're injured and have full bags. And even worse still if you're over your carrying capacity. But personally, I do believe it's still good information to know how quickly you can get across the map if you're looking at those timers and wondering what you can get to. Look at him go. 3 minutes, 23 seconds for 1,909 meters. Okay. Lastly, let's put this into some practical use cases. If you spawn in the plains, you hit the plains TP settlement, but unfortunately the only extract point is the Northern Ravine, aka the wagon. My personal advice would be to hang tight and wait for another one to pop up closer, but if you're impatient, let's calculate how long it would take you to get to the wagon. Using our previous calculations and going in a straight line, that's 2,612 meters, which calculates out to 4 minutes and 38 seconds. I'm going to assume you at least run into a little bit of trouble, whether it be terrain, NPCs, players, a boar, something. So let's bump that up to 3,000 meters of travel. So conservatively, let's say it would take you approximately 5 minutes and 19 seconds. And with gear, let's make that 10 minutes and 38 seconds to get from the Plains TP settlement to the wagon. I hope this gives you some sort of idea on how long it could take to traverse the map given how much equipment you have and your current injury status. Sometimes it's better to stick around to find a new spot rather than making the slog across the Oregon Trail. Okay, if anyone is still with me at this point, first off, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please like, comment, and sub if you want to see more videos like this one, and good luck out there.